Getting consistent leads on LinkedIn comes from having a system and not from scrolling. So, in this video, I'm going to break down the 5 things that I want you to start doing ideally today in order to book more calls, sign more clients. So, if you don't know who I am, my name is Jesse van Breugel. I'm a top 50 creator on LinkedIn. And in the last few years, I helped our clients generate over $2 million in revenue via LinkedIn organic. And like I said, in this video, I'm going to show how you can use this system that we help our clients with in order to get these results as well. So I talk a lot about this, but the first one would be content, right? So you want to make sure that you have a system, or at least like a strategy, where you're just not posting to be consistent or not posting to just for the sake of posting. What you want to do is you want to use content to start conversations, right? So you really want to make sure that the content you're putting out is making people feel something and resonate with what you have to say, right? So talk about the challenges, the frustrations, the obstacles, and all these things that your clients might feel on the surface. And at the same time, you want to position yourself as the expert on this expert that's able to help them solve the problem they have, right? So make sure to infuse case studies, client results, wins. Like talk about how other people talked about you, right? Like to use this third party like acknowledgement or recognition or social proof in order to create better content. So that's the first one. The second thing what I want you to do in order to, like I said, you want to have a system. So the second part comes down to having a rhythm, having a consistency side of things. Like in a different video, I will drop it in the comment section below. I talk about how you can build like a 60-minute LinkedIn routine. So I'm just going to give you like the summary here, but you really want to make sure that you split your ideation process and your creation process, because you're a business owner, you're not necessarily a content creator, right? So you want to make sure that once a week, once a month, once or 2 weeks, whatever, up to you, you sit down, you create ideations, you create ideas, right? The other part in the week, and this is highly this is a big suggestion, high recommendation, that you batch create. So I don't want you to sit down every morning and to figure out, okay, what I'm going to write about today. So you really want to make sure that first of all you understand, okay, my target audience, what do they care about? How can I write to them? It's not necessarily about yourself, right? When I write content, I make sure that I get into the psyche of my target audience and I write to them. So for example, I understand that many people on LinkedIn, they're fed up with posting and only getting likes and engagements from peers, not from target clients, from target audience, right? So I speak into that desire, I speak into this frustration. It's not necessarily because I want to talk about that problem. It's because I understand that that's what makes my target audience tick. So whatever you solve and whatever problem you're solving, figure out how you can talk about that. The third thing what you want to do here is, of course, that you want to, like I said, you don't necessarily want to write for likes, but you want to write for resonance. You want to make people feel something. You want to make sure that your post move them into action. Like people often talk about, okay, there needs to be a specific call to action in a post. I'm more of an advocate that your post itself is a call to action, right? So if the post is written in such a way that you really speak to your target audience, like pain points, frustrations, etc., the post itself moves them into taking action, whether it's liking, commenting, checking out your profile, sending you a message, booking a call, all these things. So now we talked a lot about content, right? But the other part here is that starting these conversations through LinkedIn DMs is super, super important. Like you can get all the signal on the front end what you want, but if you don't follow up on that, if you don't reach out to people that have shown some form of interest in what you have to say, then you're losing a lot of potential. So you really want to make sure that you DM, like direct message, like a human, and not necessarily as like a bot. Like sure, you can use ChatGPT or AI or whatnot in order to craft better messages, but I would argue that it's still a job that ideally you want to do manually. Yeah, sure, you can use templates or scripts, but there should always be, at least in this point in time, a personal element or a personal touch to it, right? So the days that you can just wait on your chair and just like wait for inbound leads to come to you, that's kind of gone, right? So you really want to make an effort and be proactive about like starting these conversations and making sure that, yeah, you're getting these people in the pipeline, getting the conversation going, right? Then the last part here in this system is that you really want to make sure you want to double down on the things that work. So if you're following the first few steps and you're creating consistent content, you're doubling down on the things that work is then the next step, right? So for example, by repetition, I understood that one of the things that our target clients or target audience struggles with is the fact that they don't want to become a content creator. So they understand the power of LinkedIn, they understand the power of organic marketing, but they have this limiting belief that they don't want to become a content creator. And I'm like, cool, I get that. Like, I understand you're a business owner first, but you use content in order to grow your brand, in order to get clients, and it's a form of marketing. It's not your main role. So in my content, I talk a lot about that, but also in our program, like the Authority Figures program, we've built systems and strategies and routines around that topic, right? So it's very much aligned. So I want you to look into that. Like, what are some of the things that make your target audience click? What are some of the things that your current or past clients consistently mention about your process or your delivery, right? So you really want to just like tap into that and use that in your content. Like getting consistent clients, like building a system on LinkedIn that works for you, comes from repeatedly hitting the same angles from a the same talking about the same things but from a different angle, right? Like, you don't have to reinvent the wheel every single day and just every day talk about something completely different. No, through posting you find a few things, like a few angles, a few talking points, a few ideas that work, and then your goal is just to rinse and repeat, like find different ways to talk about that specific topic. Because the more you do that, the more you have people come into your world, come into your orbit through your content. You start a conversation with them, you figure out, okay, do they need some help? Can I help this person? Do I really want to work with this person? And based on that, you can book them on a call, make them an offer, and ideally you just close them, right? So if you need any help with setting up the system, if you're interested in learning more about how we can help you turn LinkedIn into your #1 marketing and sales channel, make sure to hit the link in the description. And with that being said, guys, I'll see you in the next video.